Okay, get yourself ready for your restorative practice. Have a extra blanket on top of your mat, and have a blanket for underneath your head. Folded blanket for underneath your head. Make sure that it's kind of reasonably well folded, so it all feels level. Have a bolster for underneath your knees, and then some blocks just to support your feet. If you've got something to cover your eyes, like one of these, like a yoga eye pillow, then use that. So just get yourself set for your practice. Have a blanket to cover yourself over if you feel like you might be cold. Just get everything into the right position to start off with. There's something really joyful about this moment where, for the first time of the day, you lay down on the floor. The bolster underneath your knees just helps to kind of lengthen out the spine a little. So just enjoy that first initial physical reaction to just laying down on the floor. Just make sure that your equipment is out of the way so you can stretch out, and then cover your eyes if you can. If you can't, just close your eyes. And then just allow yourself to gently release into the floor. So adjust your position. If it doesn't feel comfortable, just don't be in a rush to find your final position. Maybe adjust the position of the bolster underneath your knees to stretch out your back a little. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. Consciously unhook the muscles of the arms and legs. And allow the physical body to sink into the floor. Observing how the floor supports the body and how the equipment helps to stretch out the spine. But any extensions that you feel, allow them to be passive. Allow yourself to release into the floor. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate in-breaths. Slow, deep and steady out-breaths. Draw your attention into the skin, of the feet and the legs, and the torso and the arms and the head. And then draw your attention into the soles of the feet. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet. And then consciously relax the soles of the feet, softening the skin and the flesh and the muscle and the bone. And draw your consciousness into the tops of the feet. Draw your attention into the tops of the feet and allow the skin and the flesh and the muscle and the bone of the top of the foot to completely relax. Draw your attention into your shins, focusing your energy into the shin skin and the flesh and the muscle. And then relax the shins, allowing the shins to sink into the bed of the calf muscle. Relaxing the shins completely, and then drawing your attention into the thighs and the kneecaps and the hips. And then consciously release any tension from the thighs and the hips. Allowing the thighs to sink into the bone. Draw your attention into your torso, And allow the torso to release around the skin and the flesh, and the muscle and the bone. With each exhalation, allowing the chest and the torso to soften a little more until the chest becomes light and reliant on the floor. And then release the arms, drawing your attention into your arms. Relaxing the chest and the torso, and then releasing your arms into the floor, the upper arms and the lower arms and the wrists and the palms. Soften the arms into the floor, releasing the muscles of the upper arms and the lower arms and the palms of the hands, allowing the physical body to completely release into the floor. And then draw your attention into your throat. Observe as you soften the throat, how your energy changes. Just completely releasing into the lightness of the pose with the in-breath. And then draw your attention into your neck and into the skull. Softening the muscle and the bone. Softening everything so that you collapse into the floor. basking in that pleasant feeling of release. Using this opportunity to completely let go of the physical body. Just allowing the physical body to become lighter, observing the light energy that radiates out from the bones into the skin, into the flesh, into the muscle. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Okay, when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, have the knees together, feet apart for a moment. Just feeling that pleasant pressure on the lower back from the floor. And then gently roll over onto your side and then sit yourself up. Just come into cross legs for a moment. Just observe your energy, that lightness of energy that just releasing in the basic relaxation pose brings. Okay, and then just get your blanket and then just unfold it so that it's a long kind of quarter fold like that. Fold it down the middle and then fold it down the middle again. And so you get this kind of long, quite long, thick bolster. And that's going to go for your shoulders for mountain brook. So you can move the blocks out for your feet. Just come down onto your back again. The bolster underneath your knees, and then you might have to adjust positions a few times. The blanket is just going to support the shoulder blade region, and then you can have your head on the floor, and then just rest your arms on the floor over your head. So just find a position that you're going to be able to maintain. So again, you can cover your eyes. If it's stiff, if you've got stiff shoulders, then you can just put a block underneath your hands and then just rest your arms on top of the block. Just find a position that is stable, that is bearable. You shouldn't just stay in a position just because if there's discomfort, then address it. So while there should be some challenge to the pose, it should equally feel comfortable. So the blanket is just underneath the shoulder blades, and the shoulders should be on the floor. So as we progress into the practice, I'll speak less and less so that you can just focus on relaxation rather than listening. Okay, and then just bring your arms back, just to rest on your lower hands, rest on your lower ribs for a moment. And then bend your knees and bring yourself onto your side. And then again, just come into just cross legs, just observe how that pose has opened up the energy of the shoulders and around the neck. Bringing lightness into the bones. Okay, we're going to do our little side stretching pose. So if you've got one of these oblong bolsters, then you can use that. If you've not, then just get the blanket that you just laid on top of, just fold it over one more time, and then that is going to go in the armpit chest region. So we're just going to come down onto our sides. You'll need a block for your head, so you just bend your knees and then lengthen out this side, and then just rest your head on a block, keep your legs bent, and then you're just going to reach your arm so the arm is over the ear, and then you're just going to rest onto your side. So a supported side stretching pose. So again, just keeping yourself warm. The shoulder that's on the floor should be firmly on the ground, and then just reach the top arm over your ear. Close your eyes, and then breathe evenly into both lungs, even though the lung that's closest to the floor will feel a little bit restricted just because of the bolster underneath. But just see if you can breathe into the hose, into the lungs, not evenly, nonetheless. Again, if there's stiffness in your shoulder, you can just put your hands on a block, just raising yourself up, just so that the hose is bearable. Observe that as you inhale, you really stretch open the upper ribs, the upper facing ribs. And then bring the top arm back just to rest on the upper ribs. And then push yourself up into a seated position, just sitting in cross legs for a moment. Just observe that profound energy that comes from holding these relaxation poses. And then come over onto the other side, just the same pose, equipment all in the same place, just coming over onto the other side, so you stretch the other arm over your head to lengthen out the side ribs, have the block for your head, and then just rest your arm over your ear. And relax. Again, breathing evenly into both lungs, feeling how that upper facing rib cage opens up with the in-breath. And then just bring the top arm back to rest on the upper ribs. Push your elbow into the floor and then bring yourself up into just cross legs. Again, just observing the energy that you've created around the chest and around the shoulders and around the legs. And then just unfold your blanket. Just bring it into, just fold it up so it's like a quarter fold like this. And then fold up the end of the blanket just so that you've got this kind of Swiss roll for your neck. So we're just going to do our supported bridge. So that's going to go in your neck. So you just come down, have a black bolster where you can reach it, come down so that your neck is supported by the rolled up blanket. So it should feel really nice on the back of the neck. Just get the right level of lift underneath your neck to begin with, and then just lift your seat bones up off the floor, and then just get your bolster and then just guide it underneath the seat bones, and then have the bolster supporting the lower back and your head supported by the blanket, and then again just cover yourself up for warmth if you need it. And then you can either bring your hands onto the floor, keep your knees bent, feet on the flat on the floor, have your arms resting on the floor either side of the body, and then just allow yourself to release into the floor. If you might want to just adjust the lift underneath your neck. Maybe it's not enough, maybe it's too much. Just find that position that you're going to be able to stay in. Just observe the difference in your energy, that lightness that flows through the blood, that lightness that radiates out from the bones. Just using your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute that feeling of lightness evenly. And then just lift your seat bones, shuffle the bolster just away so that the bolster is just underneath your knees. You can keep the rolled up blanket underneath your head, and then just allow yourself to release into the floor with the bolster underneath your knees. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness that flows throughout the physical body, down into the tips of the toes, the tips of the fingers, and up into the top of the head. And then when you're ready, just gently bend your knees, just roll onto your right side, and then straighten out the top leg, come back up into the seated position. Just a final cross legs with your hands in Namaste. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this evening, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the simple restorative poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then radiate some of that positive energy out into the world. And then release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy and just transformed your energy for a good, relaxing evening. So thank you very much for joining.